All right, let's go ahead and leave this course. We just did the BRC2, but that's not what we're going to talk about. That's a different video. So what we're going to be talking about is, should you get a 360 camera for action sports, especially like motovlogging? Should you get this thing to ride on a motorcycle? And we're going to talk about pros and cons real quick. And actually one con is that this thing's almost dead because I was filming my motorcycle class. So I'll probably be using a little bit of footage of that. But if you like this kind of stuff, if you like the fact that I use this and you want to see more of it, make sure you click that subscribe button. That way you can see more videos. I got this thing's like in the way. So anyways, let's talk about some really cool pros things. Let's talk really positive, real quick about it. Excuse me. First of all, the stabilization. I bet you could tell how stable this thing is. I am doing no post-processing stabilization in Premiere Pro. There we go. That's what I'm trying to get. No warp stabilizer, no nothing like that. It has its own stabilization. I forgot what it's called. I'm going to annotate that. And it works really well. And what's really cool about it is that it works when you start rotating it 360 degrees and everything like that. So it's really cool. Another thing is that it's actually very small. It's very tiny. It looks like a little cell phone, and it's very sturdy. So far I haven't had any issues. It does have like an action camera case like this. It's called the Adventure case, and I went to go buy it and it sold out super quick, so I haven't been able to find one, and that's going to be a con in the near future. But right now I think that's pretty cool that you can get that, but I'm able to mount it with a tripod mount. So another thing that's really cool about the 360 cameras, I have full range, and this is where I'm going to talk about kind of what to use the 360 camera for, especially when you're doing this motovlogging type stuff, and what it really does help, like what's really cool about it. So one thing I really like is that if I am riding with a group of people, or I'm riding and, like, let's say I want to have it focus on my hand right here, because I'm going to teach about some clutch control and all that stuff. So if I want to teach that, or if I want to teach a little bit of throttle, I'm able to move the camera, and I don't have to like actually physically move the camera. I can move the camera in post-production. I can actually rotate it. So that's the coolest thing, is that you literally just set it up, you set it there, you turn it on, and leave it. So you save a ton of time when it comes to actually filming, so you can actually focus on that one thing. And that's the one thing I found out, is that if you could capture everything and just film, you are more relaxed when you're doing whatever it is you're doing. That's pretty much it for pros. It's a camera. It shoots really good. I'm shooting 4K 50 frames per second. That's really good for doing the more action-oriented type stuff. I don't do slow-mo. I usually export 1080p 60 frames per second to YouTube. So when I'm exporting this, it's the closest I can get it without messing with it too much with the highest quality. 4K 50, it's close to 60. Extrapolate a little bit in post-production, and it looks like a 60 frames per second. It looks good. They also offer 5.7K at 30, but I don't want to have to double the frames. I want to get it as close as I possibly can. And then they also have 3K 100 frames per second. I would rather have a higher quality and not have to remove frames if I have to. So 4K 50 is pretty good. So let's go ahead and talk about some cons. Now there's a lot of cons, but that's not to turn you off of the 360 cameras. I'm using the Insta360X. There's other 360 cameras, but I like this one a lot, so we're gonna be talking about this one. But one thing that I found out that's a bit of an issue when it comes to 360 cameras versus just having like another one of these, another one of the GoPros or E4K. This is a E4K, great camera, by the way. Instead of just having that there, when I have this, I have to post-process in the Insta360X Beta Studio to stitch it, because how this films is it shoots 180 on this side, it shoots 180 on this side, and it has to stitch it all together. So that takes a lot of processing power to stitch it all together, and then on top of that, I have to export it into Premiere Pro. And if it was just that'd have been perfectly fine, but now that I have to do some more things, I actually have to get a GoPro VR plugin, which is free, thank God, and I'm able to move and do a lot more stuff in the editing process on my Premiere Pro. Now I've shot 4K 30 with this, and I've had no problems editing. 4K 50 with this. Since it's shot in equi-rectangular, that's how you edit on Premiere Pro, it does take a lot more processing power. So I actually can only do my previews at like a quarter of the quality or half quality instead of full quality that I'm used to when I'm doing editing. So if you know anything about editing on Premiere or anything like that, that's kind of an issue. There you go. It's a little bit extra to edit. So it's a lot less work to record. Like I said, you just turn it on and you can point wherever you want in editing, but that means you have more to edit and it takes more time to edit, just so you can have this face shot. So having an action camera just sitting there just because you want to have a face shot, I think that's the best bet you're gonna get, because it's just a point and click, point and shoot. Don't have to worry about it, but you're limited to that option. Where it really shines is, like I said, is if I'm in a group and I have somebody off to my left and I want to showcase them, I don't have to physically move the camera while I'm riding or doing any type of anything. So if I'm walking, I don't have to like face it and like, here, look at it. I can edit that portion and it's smooth. So that's kind of the trade-off. So you kind of want to use it where you're going to need it. You know, if you have it on top of your head, that'd be kind of cool if you had people behind you, but I'm not going to do that. So having a 360 camera like this is nice for its uses. I only use it every once in a while, especially if I'm wanting to capture certain things like I said here, or capture other people, but for the most part, I stick to having another one of my E4Ks sitting right here and recording my face with ultra wide. Another con is it's brand new. This one right here specifically is brand new. It's $400. The GoPro, I'm not even going to mention the GoPro, whatever it is, it's like $700, and it doesn't have a case, so if you break the lens, you break the lens. And that's a problem with 360 cameras. These lenses stick out quite a bit, and if you drop it, if you're not careful, you're going to break it, and you can't replace these ones anyways. So that kind of sucks. That's a very expensive camera that you can't replace the lens. So that's one thing I really like about the Insta360X is that it has a venture case, a lot like this waterproof case. They also have a dive case, but the dive case is meant for actually diving in water, because you can kind of see some of the shell, some of the case itself in the film. But the venture case, from what I understand, is that with the stitching that's involved in the post-processing, you can't see it. And it's just as safe as having this. But since it's so new, they ran out of stock. That's a problem for me, so that's why I'm running it naked right here, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit to run it naked. So until I get the case, I'm a little bit nervous, but it's still holding pretty good. Another thing is that the batteries die pretty damn quick. I only have one battery for this. It charges pretty quick, but it dies pretty quick. Especially since I'm running 4K 50, and remember, it is filming 360 degrees. It's not just filming that one angle, so the processing power, all that stuff, it dies pretty quick for what you're doing. Like, it still will film for like an hour. But here's the thing, with 4K 50 at least, I haven't tried it with the 3K 100, and I haven't tried it with 5.7K 30, but with the 4K 50, at 30 minutes exactly, it shuts off. It stops recording. So it only records 30 minutes at a time, and since I can't read this, I can't tell if it's shut off even right now. So at 30 minutes, I need to kind of pay attention and hit the button again and sync these cameras up and do all that stuff again. So there is a lot of cons when it comes to the technology. Like I said, it's a lot of processing power. It takes extra time to render. It takes a lot of extra time to stitch. If you really want to use the full potential of the editing and all the views that you get, you're going to spend more time looking at a lot more footage, and you're going to spend a lot more time moving things around and doing timestamps and all that stuff in the editing. But that is not a bad thing, because you are actually getting more footage. So if I wanted to showcase something like I'm, you know, riding here in this car coming up here, or the speed limit, let's look at the speed limit, and then have it come back to me, that takes a little bit extra time in post-processing, but I'm able to do that because of this. So that's something that if you want to use for in the type of editing and type of videography that you have, this might be worth it. This might be something that you would like to have. But definitely get a case for it if you're going to be taking it out anywhere. So you don't want water and moisture and all that stuff. If it rains, it's kind of screwed. I can't have this out. This is waterproof. That's not. So definitely get the case for it, and definitely get some spare batteries. I'm waiting for the batteries to come out. Maybe some third-party people will come out with some batteries, but they do have some in the store. It says coming soon. So I mean, I'm kind of screwed with just one battery, but that's what I really like, is that you can get extra batteries. I hear with the GoPro and some of the other ones, it's an internal battery, and you're kind of stuck with having it in one charge or charging it while you're filming. So I really like the fact that I can take the battery out and plop this one in. But overall, I think it's a great concept. I like the fact that I can put it on a monopod or a tripod and just set it there, and I can walk around, I can do whatever, or I can hold the stick and I can just walk around. I get any view that I want. I can hold it like this, I can just hold it like this, you know, the stick, and then have it pointing that way in editing. So I'm walking, then if I'm starting to talk and I want to do like a selfie, I literally just still hold it. I look at it if I want, and then in editing, I can rotate the camera. So it's really nice and handy in that way. So if you have a good computer and good processing and editing skills, a 360 camera is great. But if you are wanting to be a little more simple, which I'm not, I like to complicate things. If you want to be a little more simple, get a point and shoot kind of camera like this. That way you can point, aim it. That way you don't have to edit the different directions. But I love it. I love it for its uses. I don't use it all the time. I use it when I need it, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. It takes really cool 360 pictures. It takes really cool 360 video, and it's a little novelty. Let's see if this actually catches on YouTube. And let's see if it catches on with motovlogging. That's what I'm doing specifically here. I'm vlogging while I'm on the motorcycle, if you don't know what that is. But I'm having a lot of fun with the newer technology. Having a lot of fun. But if you like this kind of stuff, please click that subscribe button. Like I said, it really does help out the channel. And if you want to see more of these Insta360 One X type videos with this specifically and see what it's capable of, stay tuned. And if you have any questions, I know this is a brand new camera. It's a brand new camera. If you have any questions, I kind of was able to make it work. I know there was a lot of issues when I first got it. A lot of the beta, the studio beta, it's just like not working very well. Everything's not working very well, but they're adding new features here and there, so it's been really great. But let me know in the comments. With that said, I hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and I'll catch you later.